Welcome back to the Aussie Shed, ladies and gentlemen. This beauty sitting here on the bench is my latest acquisition for the shed. It's a GMF 6-inch bench grinder. I estimated it's probably from around the late 60s, early 70s, going by the design and what I can read on the label and everything. These were quite a decent machine in the day. This is probably the smallest version that they made. But yeah, they had a really good reputation and they're sort of quite sought after from people who collect vintage kind of stuff. I just picked this up at a sale locally. I paid almost nothing for it because that's pretty much what it's worth, as you can see from the state of it. Looks like it's been pulled out from underneath someone's house. It's actually got dirt and mud sort of crusted all over it. One issue I did spot fairly quickly with it, you can see the cable here. That's your earth wire that's just poking up through there. Completely separated. It's obviously been caught on either the grinder or something at some point. So the tool's not actually earthed. Active in the neutral, seems to be intact from what I can see. But yeah, definitely no earth. So the body's not grounded out at all on the machine, so if it did short and someone happened to touch it, it would have gone live and would have been a rather shocking experience, you might say, for someone. So I thought this will make a nice little project for me. I'll strip it down and clean it up and fix all the bits and pieces that need doing with it, repaint it. It's got a bit of a crap sort of a wire wheel on this side of it. I don't need a wire wheel. I've got quite a big wire wheel machine, you might say, that I knocked up out of something else a while ago. So all I'm after really is just a small portable grinder with a couple of different size grit wheels on it. That's not too big and heavy, that I can just kind of move around as I need to. This fits the bill perfectly for me. I was looking around for something like this. I didn't want to just go out and buy a new Chinese bloody piece of crap, which I have had cheap Chinese bench grinders before, and they're just, well, the ones that I had were just absolutely garbage. So I thought I'll look around for something old that at least works, and this does work. It spins up okay, but it does seem to have a little tiny bit of bearing noise. So what I'll do is I'll strip it all down, I'll put new bearings in it, repaint all the housing and everything. I'll see what I can do about this nameplate. If anyone out there knows anywhere where you can get replacement nameplates made up, if you just leave a comment below, that would be absolutely awesome. This was actually completely obscured with paint on the front there. It had sort of a, I don't know, all sorts of crap all over it. And I've gotten that as clean as I can and even scraped a little bit here and there, which is really hard to do without disfiguring the sticker completely. So it was completely unreadable before, but I've got it to a point where you can read most of the stuff. The main brand section off the top's missing. It's very worn, and I've no idea why this is so hacked up off the top. But all the rest of the details are here. So yeah, I don't know what I'm going to do about that. But anyway, great old machine from what I understand. Nice little project for the Aussie Shed, so you guys can come along on the journey if you like, and we'll rebuild this old bench grinder. So the first thing to do, I guess, is just to start stripping it down. So here we go. I just took her outside and gave this wheel here a bit of a clean up, just because it's such a messy, horrible job, and thought I'd do the bulk of it now while the machine's in such a state, rather than have it all nice and painted and just be covering it in crap again. Looks like an original wheel, I would assume. I'll know more when I get it all undone. Looks like the majority of the labels remaining on the inside, so we might be able to see, but it's come up quite well. It looked very crap at the start. It was embedded with a whole heap of aluminium on the side, and on this face here in this corner was rounded off quite badly. But I've taken it down a little bit and gotten it nice and smooth across the front. Seems like a really nice wheel, actually. It's only about 5mm undersize from what it would have been originally. So I think that's the first positive. So that's looking pretty bloody good. So I might start the disassembly process now. So first thing I might do is attempt to get this off, get these pins out and get that label off. on, the little devils. Look at that. Oh, no good. She break it off. That's alright, we'll sort that out. Hey, here she is. What we can see there, are we going to be able to focus? Looks like it's the 6-inch handy grinder. Single phase, 1/4 horsepower, 1.4 amp. 2850 RPM. GMF Electric Motors, Proprietary Limited, Sydney, Australia. Looks like it was in some very weird ass configuration with whoever had it. They've got these guys which are actually meant to be mounted on the top, so someone's mounted the actual rests hanging down here, and then they've been using these things as a rest, which is fucking super retarded. Anyway, never mind, we'll sort that out. You can see that's the one there that I pulled off from this side, how much use it's had. Very interesting what goes through some people's heads. Anyway, not our problem. I'm sure she'll make a fine piece of equipment when she's all done. Going by the following that these things have. This is my first association with any old GMF equipment. So if any of you guys would like to leave a bit of a comment and enlighten me on what you know about them. 15/16. A bit more 15/16 goodness. That was easy enough. Give that a little sneaky tap with a rubber hammer. Nothing too hard though, being a stone wheel. Alrighty. Oh no, not the original. Anyhow. And another plastic spacer on there. So she's got lots of spacers. Spacer upon spacer. We shall see. Oh, Trevor, you goose. Left hand thread. Shows you how long it's been since I pulled the bench grinder apart. Bloody hell. Made in New Zealand. Put him over there. Get rid of that. Gee, these wheel washers are well and truly stuck on there. I guess being on there for so long. One on the other side just would not come off. This one seems like it's starting to move a little earlier, but geez, the other one wouldn't come off at all. It took me so long to get it. I guess when you've been on there for this amount of time, you're kind of used to being there. Oh well, we'll be right. There we go. Beautiful. I should be able to take these guards off now. They were a bit easier to undo. You got to have a win every now and then. Ooh. Very, very crusty looking. Certainly got some crud in there. Alright, other side. Bloody beautiful. Actually, I think they're bloody spark arresters. Maybe that's what they're for. Why the hell someone's got them on the bottom though? Beats me. Alright, we are getting there, folks. We are getting there. If you can hear that with the camera. Sounds like the bearing in this end is substantially noisier than this end. Most of that noise coming out of this end here. So I guess, look at all that bloody crud on this thing. We might take the bottom off and have a bit of a look. Just drop the camera down to a better position. Go. So we can see what's in there together. I wonder what delicious surprise awaits us inside here. There's our capacitor. GMF. Very nice. Drop this switch out, eh? See what's happening there. Ooh. Come on, baby. Don't do this to me. There we go. We got it. We didn't want to snap it off. That would suck the big one. There we go. Made in Australia. No way. Did we actually used to make stuff in this country? I don't believe it. This bloody lead's definitely seen better times. Look at that. Let's go with our earth here. Ooh. It's a bit scary. Oh well. lead out. That's the back of our switch there. Rink grip, made in Australia. Have a go at this earth wire. Now what's going on with that? It's like the friggin' rats have eaten it. Jesus. Anyway, this lead's going, so it's not really an issue. Old Bakelite switch, eh? What a beauty that is. Should clean up alright. Yep. Change screwdrivers. Jesus. Quite interesting. Certainly be good to get rid of that. Very bloody scary, this sort of thing. The fact that people just keep using their tools when they're in this kind of condition, it's a bit on the mind-blowing side. Anyway. Alrighty. Base plates looking a bit worse for wear on this side. At least the capacitor still works. Not that that'd be the end of the world to replace, but always good to have something nice and original on there. Yes. So that'll straighten up with these. Bit of a de-rustification and bit of paint. Well, I've still got the base on. I might just crack these. Alrighty. Look at that. Winner, winner. Chicken bloody dinner. We'll just put that somewhere a little bit cleaner. What is that? There. Alright, wavy washer. Another piece off. There we have it. Whoa. And there's all of our windings all potted into the housing. Very bloody nice. Look at that. What a great old bit of gear that is. Alright, we'll we'll put that to one side. Let's see what's next. So the next stage, obviously, folks, is to clean all of these components, get all the paint off, get all the rust off, make any repairs necessary to them. We've got to obviously get the bearings off, identify them, throw some new bearings on. They're very shagged. This one barely moves, and this one just sounds bloody gritty as hell. They're both very flogged out, but that's to be expected. They're very old. So we'll get those off, order some new bearings, and start cleaning up all the parts, eh? Very bloody good though. Quite happy with all that. Well, I've got the 3-jaw puller out, folks, just from pulling those side washers off the grinding wheels. I'll just use it to whip the bearings off. I just took this one off. Pretty simple process. Just throw your bloody gear bearing puller on there, and I could go over and do this in the press, but mate, it's so simple to just do it like this. I honestly couldn't even be bothered walking over there. I'll just jam a screwdriver in the puller there to stop it spinning, and I'll just turn the end here with a spanner, and before long I think we should, hang on, what am I doing, Trevor? There's a circlip in there. That's got me. There was no circlip in the other end. I think we'll just have to revise this. Nearly fucked it up. No circlip on that end, as you can see. But in amongst the schmutz, there's a circlip. Bloody spotted it just in time. Alrighty. She should come off a little bit easier now. Just shows you, folks, you got to pay attention to what you're doing. Slight oversight. But we are back in business. Alright. Hopefully we'll be good to go now. There we go. I reckon that's we've got movement. My cloth's been a pain in the bum. I'll just get rid of that. Back to the naked bench. And feel the bench blushing. Righto. Now that is that. There we go. I'll just go and suss these guys out. You can see they're an open bearing that's been just packed with grease in there. There we go. I'll be able to even see what they are. Made in Sweden. There you go. Like SKF. SKF Sweden. Might even be able to have a bit of a look here through the magnifier with the camera. Ooh. Possibly. Righto, I can get the part numbers off them anyway. I'll go order some new ones, and we'll take it from there. No Chinese bearings going back into this, folks. Unfortunately, I'm going to have to spend the money on something decent. But why wouldn't you? So after a few hours work, going at it with the bench grinder, little bit of time with a Dremel, we've got all of our parts pretty much cleaned up. As you can see, all these motor end caps, I guess you'd call them, all roughly cleaned up, ready to go. These are our wheel guards. Managed to get all the build-up of metal dust that was adhered to the inside of the covers. We got all that up, they all cleaned up pretty well. All the brackets and bits and pieces are all done. The grinding wheel aluminium washers, good to go. Our motor housing is all cleaned up. I found a bit of a number on here, don't know whether this means anything to anyone. Anyhow, if anyone knows what this is a reference to, just leave a comment. Bloody awesome. Our cast base, pretty clean. Little tiny bit more work to do inside. I've gotten most of the surface rust off it though, but looking pretty good. All the original hardware I've cleaned up on the wire wheel. Most of it I can reuse. I always quite like to reuse original hardware where I can, just, you know, to keep it as per original. Bakelite switch. Beautiful, cleaned up really well. Managed to get all the paint. You'll probably notice from the first video, this is all coated in paint. I got all that off with some steel wool, and then I actually polished the switch on a buffing wheel to bring a nice new luster to it, and it came up bloody beautiful because the switch itself is in really good condition. So that's awesome. Alright, our switch plate. So this was covered in crap too, as you probably remember. I've given this a hit on the buffing wheel. It's, I don't know, it's possibly chrome, I'd say. Problem I have here is there's a big gouge in it, and it was very rusty in that gouged area. Initially I thought, oh, well, I'll just paint it with some silver paint, you know, that'll make it look all sort of tidy again, but I'd actually like to keep it the way it is with a bit of patina on it. So what I think I might do is give it a coat of clear, which will keep the sort of shine and the patina and stop this rusting again. I live right on the coast here, and everything rusts so quickly. You've only got to look at stuff and it bloody rusts. So let me know what you think, folks. Personally, I'm going with not painting this, keeping it looking patinaed and original. It's bloody, you know, 50, 60 years old, this grinder, so I'd like to make it look restored but not new. If you get me? I'm sure you guys do. So let me know. I can either just leave it. I think I've given up completely on painting it. I can either leave it and let it kind of rust up a bit here and there, or throw some clear coat on it and just, look, if the clear coat turns to crap, I can always whip it off with a polisher anyway. So that's no real big deal. It's not like if the clear turns to crap, I'm stuck with it. Let me know what you think, guys. I'm always interested to know what people think of what I'm doing. Motor shaft's all cleaned up. I've cleaned up all the threads, cleaned up all the nuts that hold the wheels on. I've got 2 new SKF bearings ordered for it, which will hopefully be here in the next couple of days. This aluminium label for the grinder, I'm pretty much stumped with that. It's really seen better days. I'm very interested if any of you guys out there know where you can get people to make up replacement aluminium machine labels on the internet, because I'd really like to get a new label made for it, even if it costs me a few bucks. Bloody worth it for a nice old machine like this. So if you know of anything or can give me a link to somewhere, bloody awesome. So I think we'll leave this video there, folks. In the next video, hopefully we'll have the new bearings. We can start getting some paint on bits and pieces. You guys have let me know, what do you think about that switch plate, what to do with it. Yeah, oh, one other thing I did notice whilst having a bit of a hands-on feel of this thing, the grinding wheel that was on it, the only actual grinding wheel, was a 25mm wheel, and you'll probably notice, particularly if you go and look back at the original video, and this is something I completely missed when I was disassembling it, the nut holding the wheel on was only on by a few threads, and I'm like, what the fuck? I started measuring it all up because I was looking at new wheels, you know, and so after measuring up the side washers and everything, it's like, no way, this thing's not designed for a 25mm wheel. So I'm going to be ordering some 20mm wheels for it, just to get me, a 20mm wheel should get me pretty much full thread engagement. I don't really want to go any smaller. I do think it was made for a 20, maybe a 19mm wheel. So I'll get maybe a medium and a coarse wheel for it. Problem with all the grinding wheels that you buy nowadays, they're not particularly meant for any machine, so they come with bloody plastic spacers in them to fit various shaft sizes. So we'll see what the spacers look on the wheels that I end up with, and I may end up making some new aluminium spacers just on the mini lathe to make it all pretty smick. I think I need to do a little bit of truing up work on these guys as well, but we'll see. That'll all be in the next video. So still lots to do, prepping for paint, bearings, you know, all the whole reassembly and the whole business of it all. So as always, thanks for stopping by. I love having you here. Feel free to comment, let me know what you think, and if you're interested in the rebuild of the old GMF grinder, remember to come back for the next episode. Cheers.